Hi guys, it's Dave from Comix Reviews. I'm covering this episode basically to thank you guys. I know it's been a while since I've put out a video, and I will resume my Civil War coverage shortly, but I wanted to take a break from that to bring you guys something really special, because when I started recording material for this episode, I was at close to 210 subscribers, so I was gonna do a 200 subscriber special, and then before I was even really done putting together all of the material, between importing the footage and creating the titling and everything, I had reached over 250, and as of now I think I'm at 279 subscribers. So you could say this is anywhere from the special for 200 subscribers to 250 subscribers to 300 subscribers, for all I know by the time this is uploaded tonight. I really appreciate all the feedback you guys did to get me here. I know I needed some work at first, certainly recording on that old webcam and not having my DSLR set up yet. But I really do appreciate all your feedback and sticking with me through, all the improvements that I've been making. Really, what I have for you today, though, is special because it's a DC Absolute Edition. And some of you guys may already own a DC Absolute Edition. Some of you may be looking at a DC Absolute Edition. So I really wanted to kick it up a notch and give you guys something truly special that's near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite Batman stories, so I'm really excited to give you guys a look at this. So what you guys are going to get when you buy an Absolute Edition is you're going to get basically 4 really big things. You're going to get the slipcase to protect it. Ultimately, these are oftentimes in like a glossy or a matte finish, depending on what they feel is right for the presentation of the story. And then you'll get inside that slipcase a wonderfully bound volume that's extremely oversized. Like, it's probably the biggest book I have. I also have some Hellboy library editions, and it's even bigger than those, and those are enormous in themselves. You'll get really good paper quality, whether it's like matte, semi-gloss, or glossy. In this case, it's going to be matte, and it's going to be a very fibrous paper that you'll get with this collection. Tim Sale has a very particular look to his art. This was, I believe, like an late 90s, early 2000s event for Batman. So ultimately, his art looks a little less detailed than it does these days, but it still communicates that it's him doing it. The art looks really gorgeous in this collection, though, just because it's so blown up, it's so oversized, and it looks fantastic. Every Absolute Edition I look at, I always know the presentation is going to be fantastic, and ultimately it's going to make me happy if I like the story. The story in this book revolves around Batman solving a high-profile murder over the period of around 14 months. It starts in October of the first year and goes until December of the next year. And he's solving the murder of Harvey Dent. And what happens throughout that is every single month, of course, there's normally a holiday or some kind of seasonal event going on, and he basically has each issue themed on a holiday or a season. You see it all in one piece here, and each month is kind of refreshing because it's a different story. It's about a different villain or a different aspect of the case, and it's kind of refreshing to see each individual issue one after another, and the story never really gets dull, even though it is, like the title says, long. It's about a 300 to 400 page event, and really, it is an excellent story. I would say this is the quintessential Batman story in my book. This inspired a lot of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. I would say a decent portion of the second movie and the third movie were all kind of inspired by this 12-month story, 12-month, 14-month story. Alright, so in terms of pricing and availability, this is widely available today. This is actually the only book I've done so far that isn't really a hassle to find anywhere you look for it. You can find it a lot in, obviously, bookstores and comic shops that sell Absolute editions. Normally, since this is such a quintessential Batman story, they will carry it. You'll obviously find it on your Amazon, your cheap graphic novels, your in-stock trades, and your eBay. Personally, I looked at Amazon. They were around $60 to $70 on Amazon. They were around $40 to $80 on eBay, and on cheap graphic novels, they were $54.99. Ultimately, really good deal any way you stack it, since they're normally $100 cover price. Really, I can't find a reason not to buy it at that price if you like the story. And really, that's ultimately what my recommendation is on this book, is to check out the trade first, or the single issues, or however it is that you would like to collect it otherwise, and then pick up the Absolute edition if you feel it warrants that. Because I've checked out a few in the past that haven't been good in trade, and I've checked out a few in the past that have been great, and I've moved on to get the Ultimate edition, and it's fantastic from that point on. So my thoughts on this are that you can't find a better value for an Absolute edition. Normally they're around $60 to $80, if not full priced at the full $100 or $125. If you're lucky, if they're out of print, like, good luck finding them for under $200. They're really nice collections, and ultimately, if you like the story that's included in them, I would recommend getting it. What I always do with my Absolute editions, the few that I have, is I will buy the trade for, between like $15 and $20, and then I'll decide if I want the Absolute edition later. For example, one area where this was a enormous value to me is with Final Crisis, because I hated Final Crisis like a lot of other people. Thought people were being far too harsh on it, and then I bought it and I saw exactly what they were talking about. This I reread 6, 8 times, and I loved every time I read it. The book was getting to the point of falling apart, as I always say, and I decided to upgrade. And I've never regretted it a single time I've read the Absolute Edition. Really, what you should consider, though, is it is a fair amount of money to spend when you're talking about the amount of pages that are included. Again, this is between 300 and 400 pages, so it's a lot of money per page, but you're getting really nice paper quality, you're getting a really nice binding, and a collection that's ultimately, unless you're really abusive to books, going to last for as many times as you want to read it. And you're going to be able to hand this off to a relative, or you're going to be able to sell it once it's far out of print and it's worth a lot more money. It really is a collector's item, and it is going to remain a collector's item for the foreseeable future. Again, highly recommend this volume. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Again, comment, like, and subscribe. Dislike it, of course. If you dislike the video, leave me a comment with constructive criticism, because I'm always looking for that. I love to bring you guys these videos, and ultimately I would love to take recommendations on videos I can do. Of course, if I don't have it, I have to find it, and you know, it gets kind of complicated if I don't have it, and it might be a while, but I do always take you guys' input into consideration, and I do always appreciate your input. Thank you again for almost 300 subscribers now. It's been a wild ride so far. I've had a little bit of heckling from the guys over at the podcast, The Weekly Poll. Again, if you guys want to go check them out, if you haven't yet, it's Rob from Marvel Explained, Benny from Comicstorian, and Sal from TV Little House. Their links are always in the description. Have a good one. See ya.